JSTART is part of a larger organization focused on emerging internet technologies within IBM's software group. We are focused on identifying, incubating, and validating emerging technologies. Now, that involves not only looking out into the marketplace as to what technologies and trends are coming about and how they might impact our software portfolio, as well as how our customers might be able to utilize those technologies. But we take it through a process where we actually incubate those technologies, i.e. creating applications and solutions. And then specifically the JSTART team is responsible for working directly with customers, business partners, and even internal IBM organizations to validate the use of those technologies, the feasibility of utilizing them, the business value of utilizing them. And then, assuming that we're successful, we help drive the adoption of those technologies into our portfolio and the marketplace. We're a relatively small team of IBMers, but we've got lots of connections out throughout the organization. We've been doing this for probably a dozen years or more at this point. We started back in the mid-90s with Java technology, and we progressed forward from there. Currently, we're working in the area of big data. So big data to us means a few things. One is large volume of data. What is things like sensor data that may be coming off of roads and bridges and things of that nature. It could be social media data that's coming off of Facebook and Twitter. In addition to that, we look at the diversity of data sources because there's so many different pieces of information that can actually come together and provide value when you look at the combination and begin to correlate those data sources. We look at the flow rate of data. How quickly is information streaming in? It could be audio, video, Twitter, text. And then we combine that sort of with the notion of shelf life. A lot of this data may, historically end up in an archive, but some of it may just disappear, in a very short period of time. So how do we take advantage of that sort of that temporal aspect of the data? So big data really is a combination of those four aspects, and that was really the intersection point of us working with North Carolina State College Management and the CIMS organization to understand how businesses can utilize these various forms of data and large volumes of data to help them make better business decisions. We've learned some things that we thought we knew already, but the collaboration with CIMS has been terrific in the sense that they bring a business experience and insights, and we bring a technology insights together, and the combination really fits, I think, very well with the mission of both CIMS and our organization is to validate the use of technologies within that context. And so specifically, the work that we've done with them has been in the area of biosciences, not exclusively, but primarily, and understanding the challenges of that particular business domain has been critical, because when you think of bioscience, I mean, you typically think of things like genomic data and things of that nature. But what we've learned in working with CIMS is that the variety of data that can be used in the bioscience field is vast, and you can combine scientific data with business data to gain new insights. And today that's critical in the current economy. One of the things that that I did want to comment on in terms of the role of CIMS and the collaboration with CIMS is that the CIMS leadership team really brings an enormous amount of experience in business insight, but they combine that with sort of the talent, the enthusiasm, and the energy of the MBA students and other students and faculty in the NC State campus. What they gain from that is an understanding that innovation at its core is a multidisciplined activity. It's not just about gee, we're going to invest money here and suddenly our business grows by, X%. That it really involves innovating around the business model. It involves innovating around the cultural model within the business. And obviously from IBM's perspective, it involves technology innovation. And it's really the combination of the two, of those three things, and the interplay of those three things that give you, the ability to innovate within your organization. And I think that, we've really been able to demonstrate that in the work that we've done with CIMS, and in directly working with customers, where they suddenly discover they have that aha moment of, gee, I didn't really know that about the marketplace, and I didn't know that about my organization, and I didn't know about how my organization fits in the marketplace, and those insights are really pretty remarkable, and that's sort of the seed or the kernel that people can use to grow the notion of their business can be an innovator. Because it's not just hard work; it's also a mindset, and this NC State and CIMS really bring that to people in a very hands-on way. So this is not this is not an intervention that you might get from collaborating with a third-party consulting organization. The CIMS team really gets in, rolls up their sleeves, and works directly with customers to help them understand their businesses. And for us as IBM, that's critical, because what we need to understand is, what is that next generation of business problem? Technology for technology's sake is long past. I mean, those days are long gone. People want to know what kind of return on investment I'm going to get if I invest in these technologies, and it has to be done in context with how the business is working, how you want to grow the business, and so it's critical to have this combination of domain knowledge and technical expertise coming together to help customers, clients, businesses throughout the country to help them grow, and so. We've worked locally with some of the bioscience organizations here, but certainly the work that we're doing, I know we will expand both geographically as well as industry-wise, and so it's been fun, it's been exciting. We've learned a tremendous amount about how to apply our technology, in real-world situations, and it's due in large part to the collaboration with CIMS. Okay. Actually, I do love NC State. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on campus, both with the CIMS organization and the student population. I mean, for us, it's very energizing. Caffeinated Spence notwithstanding.
That's where it gets scary.
Yeah, that's true. That's where it gets scary. So yeah, we've had a great time, and I really look forward to working with CIMS more in the future, not just on this current activity, sort of business, data-driven decision making, but which is important. But okay, how can we innovate beyond that? Now that we get people in businesses and academia understanding that, the power of it, how to actually execute around it, then what's next? And that's fabulous, because like I said, as a technologist, we're always looking for that next problem. The next set of technology it's a foregone conclusion that it's coming, right? The challenge is how do you apply it? And working with people who are willing to innovate their business model is really how we do that. In the context of business, I mean, I think it's having a clear understanding of your marketplace, the dynamics, the trends that are taking place, and then having the capacity to innovate your business model, your cultural model, and your infrastructure, including technology, in a way that you can do this continuously, because innovation really is a continuous process. That's not to say that it's a regular or constant. Innovation is regular. It happens in sort of fits and starts. But if you look at it over an extended period of time, you can really see this cycle of how innovation is impacting the business overall. Well, certainly it is valuable to have academic research behind it, because you want to have essentially a body of information that you can draw on to relate to people. First of all, that they're not guinea pigs when they walk in the door. Not put too fine a point on it, but that that we've actually worked in this space for some time over over the context of multiple customers, as well as that we have academic research that supports the whole premise behind this, that adds credibility to it, and really you get more of a commitment when you engage a customer that way, right? Because it's not like, oh, well, we've got this idea and we think it's a pretty good idea. Do you want us, would you like to work with us on it? As opposed to in working with CIMS, we walk in the door and say, hey, we've done research in this area, and here's some of the things that we found, and we think that will be applicable to your business. Would you be interested in working with us in that context? And shall we say the response rate is a lot better in that, both in terms of customers being willing to work with us, but also the commitment level that we get from. So when we engage, we're engaging at all levels of the organization, that they recognize, as CIMS has, that this kind of work is multidisciplined, and it has to involve people from across the organization, business, technical, line management, executive management, et cetera, to be involved and for these kind of things to be successful. And I think certainly CIMS' track record in working with their clients, independent of us, demonstrates that.